In the latest version of Photoshop 2026, Generative Fill just got a massive update. And so in this video, I'll show you all the tips and tricks to master it for yourself. So before we begin, make sure you're using the latest version of Photoshop 2026. Mine is the 27 release. Also, under the Window tab, make sure the contextual taskbar is turned on. So I have my portrait here and I want to change the clothes that he's wearing. So I'm going to select the rectangle marquee tool and draw a selection over his t-shirt. Next, select Generative Fill and I'm going to type in the prompt to change his t-shirt to a regiment coat. Now in the latest update, we can choose which AO model we want to use. So we have the old Firefly models here, but we can also choose from these new partner models. So for this video, I want to use Gemini 2.5, which helps preserve the details of my image when editing. So I'm going to select this model and then click Generate. You can see it's done a really good job of applying those changes to our image. And now we can take this a step further. So I'm going to select the entire image. And this time, I'm going to ask it to convert our image into an oil painting. And just like that, it's applied the art style, turning the whole image into a realistic oil painting. The cool thing is, you can now swap out this part of the prompt and turn it into any other art style, like a crayon drawing or a watercolor painting. In this example, I've selected the car and I want to give it an American flag decal. So these kinds of edits used to take hours. And now they can be done in seconds. You can see there are a few small shifts from our original image, but overall it's pretty accurate. In this next example, we're going to create an image from scratch. So I've selected my whole artboard, and then I'm going to type in the prompt to generate a hyper-realistic plastic drink bottle floating on a soft blue studio background using realistic lighting and shadows. Now this next trick is super cool. We're going to create a new layer, then select the brush tool and change the color to red. These are my brush settings, and then I'm going to draw over the top of my image like so. So basically I want to create a water jet splashing around my bottle. And so I'm just adding some of these little details here to indicate some of those splashes onto our shape. Now draw a selection over the shape, and in the prompt bar, type change the red area to a water stream splashing. Then click Generate. And just like that, we've created a unique image all from a blank canvas. Using the same technique, we can also draw shapes to use as reference images. For example, I've used the brush tool to draw out my text here, and then I've prompted it to convert it into a coiled rope on a brown background. So Photoshop has used that sketch as a reference, and then I've been able to prompt my idea to life. You can also use the brush tool to paint out full scenes just like this, and then in the prompt bar, describe exactly what you've drawn. So in this example, I'm going to prompt to create a scenic image of mountains, soft clouds, rocky riverbeds, and lush meadows. And then just like that, it's brought our scene to life. And so from there, you can keep building out your scene. And so I've prompted to add a little shack perched among the meadows. Finally, you can create realistic 3D text effects. Just type in your text, select your artboard, and then in the prompt bar, type change the red area to paint smeared on a white background. Click Generate, and now it's applied this realistic texture to your text. And so the best part is, since it's all in Photoshop, we can now go and adjust the hue and the saturation to change the color of the paint to anything that you want. So those are some of my top tips and tricks for mastering Generative Fill in Photoshop. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the latest update. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like as it really supports the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more design content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.